A new update for Conan Exiles has landed, focusing on a few small but incredibly irritating issues. Have they managed to fix one of Conan's most annoying recent bugs? Let's find out. This update was announced through social media on May 24th with the stated goal of fixing the semi-recent View Obstructed bug, alongside improving the event log, rectifying a number of crashes and more. Before we get into any real detail, let's firstly look at the patch notes themselves, and they are as follows. Fixed splitting item stack from the hotbar causing items to go missing, fixed the View Obstructed bug, fixed the continue option not working in Lu Fei's quest. There's a fix for Freya refusing to join the hunt. This one has a small caveat. This is an initial fix and the team are continuing to monitor her behaviour and look for issues. Added Down But Not Out, Living Settlements and the Age of War Purge to the event log, and made the log itself more transparent with new details. We'll touch back on this shortly. Fixed tavern patrons occasionally teleporting to 000, fixed house pets such as cats and turtles becoming aggressive, switched the hunger and thirst indicators back to their intended locations, I believe that was broken with the last update, and finally various crash fixes. So on paper, a pretty decent little list of fixes. Conspicuous in their absence are of course any fixes to living settlements, alongside rectifying issues like the incorrect server details on consoles and plenty of other bugs big and small. Also, it's worth noting, I don't think this update has released on Xbox. I haven't been able to confirm it at the time of recording, but the patch notes were only posted for PC and PlayStation, so this may be yet another patch that Xbox misses out on. I'm not too sure what's going on there, to be honest. If you are an Xbox player and can confirm or deny if this patch has landed, please do. So as for the fixes themselves, how have they played out? Well, we're focusing mainly on a handful of the items here. Let's start with View Obstructed. This bug is a fairly big hitter. It first appeared around the release of the Age of Heroes, I believe, and though I was lucky enough to not have it happen to me, the resounding take seems to be that it made building a nightmare, rendering you unable to place decorations or stations in many common conditions due to an error message stating your view is obstructed. Again, I was lucky enough to avoid it, but it certainly was an issue. I'm making this video on this patch's release date, so quantitative long-term feedback isn't available yet, but I've generally not seen too much chatter about it. I did see one person on the forums say it wasn't fixed for them, but aside from that, I've not seen anything in the positive or the negative, so let me know if you're still seeing it. Secondly, the fixes for Lu Fei and Freya. I've seen a few people now say these haven't worked properly, or at least not yet. Again, only a few reports, so it's not exactly quantitative, but I have seen more than one person say they are still having issues. Do let me know if you're still seeing the same problems in the comments. I don't know what's up with Lu Fei and Freya, but they are proving troublesome. Freya especially, it seems, though based on the caveat it seems the devs know she may have more problems that are slowing or preventing progression. Lastly, let's talk about the event log. As a builder and single player person in general, I gotta be honest, I don't really look at it much, but I did see a few people interested in the prospect of improving it. With the new features added, the patch has reset the event log visibility server settings, so if you're a server admin on your own server, you'll have to adjust that setting again. For officials, PvE is set to owner or admin, and PvP is set to admin. What this means is, to quote from the patch notes, with this configuration, PvE events like a crocodile killing a thrall will report full information to the clan members. However, recorded PvP events, like a player killing a thrall, will only report, and I quote, a player and not the player's name. Additionally, the event log is currently only localized to English, which is marked as a known issue. This doesn't affect the entire event log, just the new things added here. I can see that being quite troublesome for foreign speakers who speak limited or no English at all. Hopefully that is fixed very quickly. So I've seen a few different takes on these event log changes. The PvE stuff sounds fine, but I've seen quite a few people talking about the PvP changes. On the negative side, a fair few have complained that this just emboldens cheaters, making it easier for them to just blast through chests and bases with even fewer consequences, as they can no longer be identified from the event log, as it will just say a player destroyed your chest, for example. From my view, I think it can also kill off emergent gameplay a bit, where a rogue player might loot one of your outposts, which eventually leads to more conflict, and then both clans eventually choosing to go to war. To be fair, when I first read the patch notes, my first thought was about cheaters and emergent gameplay, though of course, as I've said many times before, I'm nowhere near any sort of authority on PvP gameplay. On the positive side, I've seen another user state this could be good for the social and mental aspect of PvP. By removing this sort of meta knowledge, solo and stealth players can be emboldened to infiltrate and steal from larger groups, or just create chaos through uncertainty. To be fair, I can see this side too. My big concern is, again, about emboldening the cheaters. I don't doubt that the admins and support can see fully detailed server logs in case someone just comes and uses cheats to demolish your base, but this on the surface seems to make it even harder to accurately report those instances. There's no mention in the patch notes of any action being taken to prevent cheaters, though as I've covered previously, that might not be something funcom want to publicise. Outside of the issue of emboldening cheaters, frankly, I don't really have the PvP experience to make any meaningful comment on how this will affect legitimate gameplay, but again, I do worry about the cheating problem. I can see the lack of information being an issue, but I can also see it working for solo and small clans that are trying to worm their way into an established server, pick off what they can, and just kind of sow chaos amongst the bigger clans. Again, outside of the cheaters aspect, I'm a bit undecided, so do let me know what you think. As for the future, what needs to be fixed next? Well, there's plenty to choose from. Console player counts are high on the list, servers there are showing no population even when the server might be full, which is apparently causing issues on those platforms, as why would you join an empty server? There's also thralls apparently still sinking into foundations on occasion, living settlements being broken but fortunately for now disabled, and plenty more. I think I've mentioned this before, forum user Kiki Girl has created an entire list of known issues over on the forums, so just scroll through and take your pick. There's still a lot to be done, and whilst it seems this patch has hopefully fixed some of the issues it's targeted, others apparently still persist. It will take a little time to get the full scope of what has properly worked and what definitely has not, but this is yet another step forward in the unofficial age of fixes that hopefully leads to the game being much more stable in the future. Anyway, that will wrap us up for today. If you're wondering what I've been building throughout this whole video, it's part of the ongoing work on pre-production for Settlers Season 4, the next season of my story-driven series told through Conan Exiles. I've already dropped 7 pre-production logs over on Patreon. Join as a free member to get access to all of those, and if you enjoy my content, consider supporting the channel directly through the paid tiers where you'll get access to videos early, amongst other perks. I've already got about 3 weeks worth of content up on Patreon early, so there's always plenty to enjoy. Thank you for watching. Again, do let me know what your experiences have been with this patch thus far. Hopefully it's not bad, but some issues do seem to have proven rather sticky. A massive thanks to our wonderful esteemed coffee cultists for continuing to support the channel over on Patreon. If you want to support the channel here on YouTube and get some exclusive perks, take a look at the new channel memberships available by clicking join just below this video. Take care, and I'll see you soon.